Oh man, am I doing a Game of Thrones episode? I guess I have to. I got kind of involved in invested in the show. Hey everybody, it is Nerdicane, and I'm doing a TV slash I don't know review of. I don't know. Is it TV? Are the HBO series considered TV? Because I consider TV to be like the networks, which I haven't watched in years. Network TV is awful. I just consider like Game of Thrones, these HBO things, to be a little more like almost like pseudo movies. I think they're on a higher level because of what they can do, because they don't have censors and any of that. But anyway, I digress. So Game of Thrones is over, and I'm going to show you guys a lot of memes that these come from a subreddit called Free Folk, which I just found out about a couple days ago. They're outstanding. If you want to find the absolute dankest Game of Thrones memes, they don't care about spoilers. They tell you right there in the description of the group, we don't care about your feelings, we don't care about your spoilers, we don't care about your sensitivities, and that they really do keep with the theme of the Free Folk. So the game, I really thought this was going to be a longer series, a longer season. Going into the final season, you think, okay, they got to deal with the Night King, they got to deal with Cersei's forces out in Westeros. They got to deal with the Iron Fleet. And then they have to do the siege and the attack on what's that place? King's Landing. And when I first saw this and I saw that it was coming up and there was only 6 episodes, I was like, wow. My brain thought, okay, either every one of these episodes is going to be just bat poop crazy, and all sorts of craziness is going to happen. I figured they would take all of these elements and throw them into just like a chaos blender and spin it, and then you'll find somebody's going to come out on top. And the other part of my brain said, this might be a little rushed. And I think, as we saw in a production, one episode there was a Starbucks cup right in front of Emily Clarkson, who plays Daenerys, and then it was so rushed, and it was like you could tell the production of it. You could tell that Dan and Dave were just going through the motions and just getting it off, when really it shouldn't be that way. These guys, it seemed like they were in a rush to get on to the next project. They've had their run of Game of Thrones, and it was hugely popular, probably the best TV series ever done, excluding half of last season and all of this season. But it just seemed like they did it, they hit it big, they get to do whatever they want next, and they were in such a rush to go do whatever they wanted next that they just sort of gave up on it. And that's what sparked probably the most hilarious change.org petition I've ever seen. And it's, last time I checked was probably 2 days ago. It was up over 1 million signatures to get real writers and people who actually care about the series and just redo season 8, which will never happen. But I think it's very hilarious that popped up, and it's been so popular. So many people have signed it, and it's a really good. You think it would be a reminder? I hope it's a reminder, a slap in the face to Dan and Dave, that the fans are not happy. The fans know what you did. They can smell it. They can see what you did. They threw out character development. Daenerys is basically, I might be a little late. Spoilers. I'm gonna put that in the title. There's gonna be spoilers in this, but they threw out Daenerys. They made so much of Jon Snow for 6.5 seasons, and now Jon Snow is barely relevant. And there's so many other arcs. They've taken really smart characters like Varys and Littlefinger and even Tyrion, and just for the sake of brevity and needing to get them to their final conclusions quickly, they just threw out everything that we knew that made up this character. They're acting really stupidly and making very, very rash decisions, where all of these people were like spy masters, and they had this backup plan and this scapegoat and this fall guy in case this came through, and this person was a double agent, but they didn't really know that, but this person knew it was a double agent, but that person's person was a double agent for this. And they just threw all of that smart writing out. And it's really ominous, and you should going forward. They say the North remembers, but the free folk, which is the people, the fans who are basically roasting this season. If they say the North remembers, the free folk should say the free folk never let you forget. We should, Dan and Dave, to whatever project they go on to next, we should never, those fans should never let them forget what they did to this. And I'm not calling for boycotts, I'm not calling for protests, those are stupid, that's not what they do. But going forward, when you see something and it has their name attached to it as a showrunner, as a writer, as a producer, I think the fans, and I really hope the fans remember, okay, this person did this to Game of Thrones, so let's not get very enthusiastic about what they have coming up. And I think it will, in the long run, it's really going to hurt their productions, because people are going to remember these things, and they're definitely not going to forget. And I have to admit that I feel that now that this is over, I feel a bit of this has to fall on the shoulders of George R.R. Martin, for not finishing this book and not staying involved with the production. Now, I'm sure there was some conflict, and I'm sure that he kind of got muscled out because HBO was producing the show and he really wasn't producing the book quickly enough. But I think this should be a warning to him as well. He's like in his 70s. He's not a spring chicken by any stretch of the imagination. And I think this what happened to Game of Thrones season 8 should be a warning to him. Hey, you need to get in front of that computer. You need to start writing this book, because if you keel over, you're not young. If you keel over, somebody's going to finish your book for you one way or another. And you saw what Dan and Dave did, finishing your story without you, without the proper source material. They finished the story without you, and it's an absolute mess. And that's what will happen if you don't finish that last book. It's going to come out a mess. Granted, I know George R.R. Martin is not the bitch of the fans, but I really hope he sees the danger of not finishing his work and somebody else coming along and finishing his work for him. But I think I'm not going to do a whole lot more of this. All these memes that you see have been generated from the free folk over on the subreddit. And I don't know, I'm not sure what's going to happen with the free folk. Somebody said that in a couple days it's going to go away. This subreddit's just going to go away because it's not going to be topical or relevant anymore now that the show has ended. And I think even if that does happen, I think it's really beautiful if that happens. I mean, so many things have just gone on for way too long, and they just get stale. But whoever's running the subreddit, if that rumor's true, that's actually pretty good. But yeah, this has been a very disappointing thing to watch just fall apart in the last season, because you could tell, because so many the spoilers came out, they cared so little about locking up the information and making sure that those spoilers didn't get out there. Almost every spoiler that came out before the season was completely accurate, and now that we start to see where these spoilers came from, was like somebody had a relative who worked on the set who watched it, and he got information from somebody who was on another set, and they watched the scene being filmed, so it got out. And it's leaks like that, information leaks like that you would never see in a Disney movie, because Disney is absolutely ironclad. They care about these things, about Star Wars and Marvel, to a point that it makes them money. And if the spoilers are out there already, they're not going to make money off of it. So that's why you see a higher level of what we called in the military operational security, OPSEC, making sure these little bits of data don't get out. But that was a big clue that something was amiss, and the directors and the showrunners were just, they couldn't get out the door fast enough. And that's what it feels like to me with season 8 of Game of Thrones. But tell me what you think. Tell me what you think in the comments. Did I miss anything? I don't know if I'm ever really going to do another Game of Thrones. I watched the whole series as it came out. To be honest, I haven't watched the last episode because my wife likes to go to bed early, and I don't watch the episodes till the next day with her after we put Little Nerdicane Jr. to bed. So I haven't watched the episode yet, but I'm not afraid of spoilers, and I read the spoilers, and I read all the the synopsis of the episodes on Monday, because it doesn't bug me. I'm not the person who gets spoiled by spoilers. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight, and I'm sure it's just disappointing. If I have a different take on it tomorrow, maybe I'll do another video. But thank you for watching, everybody. You guys go out, have a good day. Go find another TV show that you love. Don't kind of bounce back from this quickly. Please hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit a share if you know anybody who might like my style of videos. But I'm going to try to do something this week. I'm going to try to do a video every day this week, and I hope it works out. Wish me luck. You guys go have a good day. Go find something you love. Bye.